10, Neenah is moving toward enacting a $30 annual wheel tax to help pay for street and sidewalk improvements. Earlier this week, the Finance Committee voted unanimously to recommend a wheel tax over other revenue-generating alternatives, such as special assessments on properties or borrowing that would have to be repaid, of course, through property taxes. Wheel taxes are nothing new, spanning from Green Bay to Appleton, Kekona, and Manitowoc. The tax applies to all vehicles that weigh 8,000 pounds or less.
Not doing anything would be doing a disservice to the city. And of the options that our department heads, along with our city attorney, looked at, the wheel tax seemed to be the safest route for us to take.
Officials say the wheel tax doesn't have to be permanent. They're hoping the state legislators will come up with some extra funding in the budget.